To be fair and open and honest, I am definitely a DC fan, a fan of many of the DC characters, and have been longing for DC to finally find their groove when it comes to the movie scene. But I would be remiss to not point out times when DC is messing up or when DC's employees might be doing things that I strongly dislike. And while I don't necessarily think that companies are always responsible for what their employees do in their off time, in this particular case, I believe it refers to comic book work and paints a very dark picture for creators who want to cover things related to DC, who want to critique particular DC comic books. And I feel like the precedent now set with this DC employed writer falsely, illegally using the YouTube copyright system to attack and silence a YouTube content creator is a bridge far, far too far. Now, I want to point out also that DC, from what I can tell, does have a pretty tight rein on a lot of their creators in terms of their social media, meaning they do have, from what I'm told, a social media policy where essentially attacking the fandom or posting terrible things is at minimum frowned upon and at maximum grounds for dismissal. Now, that's not what I'm saying I want to happen to Magdalene Visaggio, but I want to paint a picture for you, folks, to give you an idea of the few times I've interacted, the few times I've heard this person's name. If you're not familiar with Mags Visaggio, she isn't exactly on a lot of AAA titles in terms of books, Kim and Kim, stuff like that, but nonetheless is employed by DC. Some of the times you may have heard of her is when she publicly said that Batman, his superpower was in fact white privilege. By the way, a DC character. Batman's primary power is his ability to escape the consequences of his actions. Now, this is pretty light in terms of bad takes. Now, when you work for DC, the most iconic character in your catalog, the only guaranteed moneymaker you have in film, and you have one of your employees saying his superpower is in fact white privilege. I know the white privilege that comes along with having your parents murdered and stuff like that, but that's neither here nor there. Another time you may have heard of Mags Visaggio is when she said this. So F you, F cis a-holes, F your BS, get ready for a baseball bat to the teeth. Interesting. That wasn't a quote. That was in context. This is someone who, has a history of lashing out on social media. Again, as an employee of DC Comics, probably not a good thing. You can also see a long history of this DC employee, Mags Visaggio, interacting directly with YouTube content creators. One in particular would be Richard C. Meyer of Diversity in Comics, one who has been quite critical, if we're being fair, of Mags Visaggio. And I would say that jabs back and forth, making fun of each other, is fair game. So if this were merely Mags Visaggio calling Richard C. Meyer a jerk or D-bag or something like that, that would be different. But that isn't what happened. In fact, what happened was a long-term conspiracy between her and other comic book creators to continually harass Richard C. Meyer, continually try to silence his criticisms, and really creepily obsess over him. I'm going to let Richard explain exactly what this newest development is the illegal use by comic book pros of the YouTube copyright system.
Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach over here, and this is going to be an interesting short video. So need your help, especially long-term fans and viewers, because the channel is 100% under attack right now. So what happened is, I believe yesterday or the day before, Kwanzaa Osajefo put a copyright strike against a video I did for, what was it? Black AF Devils Die #1. I did some research into it. Basically, I said, okay, that's fair enough, because I made a mistake. The book hadn't come out yet. I actually found that out after I uploaded it. So I didn't show the entire book. I actually edited it out about 4 minutes of the video. But I said, you know what? No harm, no foul. I'm just gonna take that hit. The copyright strike go away in 3 months. But the big danger is that 3 of them gets your channel down. Now, these things don't exist in a vacuum, and obviously Kwanzaa is in the group with Mags and all of those Twitter people who spend up to 18 hours a day obsessively stalking me. These are the same people. We know who all they are. They all collude and they all share coordination. So as soon as Kwanzaa got that copyright claim, I said, okay, I know what's next. He's going to tell him it's successful, and then they're all going to search for every video I've ever done. So I've got some serious stalkers, like absolutely obsessive, psychotic, fixated. I mean, these people are 12 to 18 hours a day.
Now, full disclosure, I consider Richard C. Meyer at least a casual friend, an acquaintance, a ally in the fight against censorship and strong SJW influence on escapism. But this goes beyond that. Richard C. Meyer is being targeted. He is having a coordinated false copyright flag attack on his channel. I am certain that he will get his 3rd strike momentarily, because once they spot weakness, they will flock to it. And they are blatantly breaking the law. They are knowingly filing false copyright claims against a YouTube channel rather than working on their own comic books. Now, as a fan of the DC universe, one wonders how many people are working for DC that are spending time obsessing over their critics online. Now, I have in the past been very supportive of DC. There have been times that I've come out and spoke out against other issues. For example, the Batwang. Didn't think that was necessary, and as we saw it, a lot of people agreed with me. But I want DC Comics to know that, my channel might not be huge, but I've got a few viewers. I've got a few comic book fans on this channel. In fact, I've got comic books literally right behind me, Mr. Miracle. I've said very many times this is one of the best new series out there. Reboots, 100% support purchasing this series. Long-term Batman collector. I mean, this is like not, oh, look, I just have this stuff sitting behind me on the shelf, okay? I am not pretending to care. I really do care. And if, as a company, you support your employees going out and breaking the law to silence critics, how can I ever feel comfortable even talking about DC, ever even promoting a DC product? Because I don't know who works for your company that might copyright strike my channel over an opinion they disagree with, or quite frankly, if they just don't like me as a person, which is entirely their right. Look, I'm not super likable. A lot of people would tell you I'm a jerk, and perhaps use stronger language than that. But in this case, I like and I support what Richard C. Meyer is doing, and he is fighting back. He is using his war chest, his GoFundMe war chest, to fight back against these people. And I strongly, as somebody who has also filed suit against a far left crazy person, I think this is truly the best way we can fight back, because for too long, people like Mags Visaggio and, her ilk can go around with no repercussions, filing copyright strikes and harassment strikes and things like that. Well, we saw them screw up Richard C. Meyer's publishing deal with Antarctic Press, and now there's a lawsuit behind it, a lawsuit I 100% support. And he's going to prepare to file suit against Mags Visaggio, and I 100% support this. So if you're a fan of Richard C. Meyer or his product or his videos or his books, Jawbreakers, things like that, you should check that out. And there'll be a link in the description, or at least a link to the video where he explains the whole thing going on. But DC, this is a strong message from me that you need to get your creators in line. You need to send a strong message that you're not going to support people deplatforming critics, because that is a slippery slope, one that I don't think DC really wants to travel down. You're going to lose a lot of your strongest supporters, and I highly, highly recommend thinking about fixing this. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.